Straight to the architects of existence. Fine. Let's open it properly. Scroll Eye, the shining supreme gods of the universe. The ones before names, before thrones, before the first lie was ever spoken. Tonight, the collective remembers something dangerously ancient. Not gods that demanded worship, but beings that radiated so much truth. People mistook the light for authority. The shining ones were never rulers. They were mirrors. And most turned away, because seeing yourself clearly is the one ritual humanity keeps dodging. Before the temples, before the gold crowns, before language got sticky and started lying, there were the shining supreme gods. Not gods in the way people kneel to statues and hope rent gets paid. No, these were conscious forces. Living intelligences. They didn't sit on thrones. They were the field everything existed inside. In the oldest whispers of Anunnaki, in the veiled hymns of the Netjeru, in the cosmic echoes of the Devas, there are fragments, distortions, half-remembered brilliance. Because the truth? They were not separate beings. They were states of perfected awareness. They did not speak. They resonated. And when they moved, reality adjusted itself like it was trying not to embarrass itself in front of them.
Channeled by your architect musician, 36110, 27 palms of eyes. The golden whisperer, sea star, Devalan, see all. Apply the news you can use, truth and accuracy. The real non-bedazzled jewels.
The nature of the shining ones. They were called many things, the radiant intelligences, the first lights, the unfractured minds. But their real signature? They did not consume. That alone separates them from most gods. Humans ended up worshipping later. No sacrifice required, no fear needed, no obedience contracts, just alignment. And here's the part people don't like, so brace yourself. They did not rule humanity, because humanity was never meant to be ruled. You were meant to match them. Yeah, I know. That idea tends to ruin entire power structures. Funny how that works. Fall into false worship. As time moved, something shifted. Not in the shining ones, in us. Humanity encountered lesser beings. Advanced, yes. Powerful, definitely. But not pure. And like someone mistaking a flashlight for the sun, people bowed. These imitators studied the radiance of the originals, then built systems of control using echoes of that light. This is where hierarchy began. This is where fear entered devotion. This is where God stopped meaning truth and started meaning authority. The hidden law of the Shining Supreme. The Shining Ones never disappeared. They withdrew. Not out of anger, out of precision, because their law is simple and brutally honest. Open quote, we meet you at the level you are willing to stand in. Close quote, stand. Stand, not kneel. Stand. So if someone is begging, bargaining, sacrificing themselves, they're not reaching the Shining Supreme. They're tuning into something else entirely. What the collective is remembering, the awakening isn't about finding a new god. It's about recognizing you were never separate from the source field the shining ones exist within. You weren't created to worship light. You were created to carry it without distortion. That's the uncomfortable part. No middleman, no excuses. No outsourcing your power to something with better branding. Because we don't just vibe, we verify. Ancient Sumerian texts referencing luminous beings later interpreted as the Anunnaki. Egyptian cosmology of the Netjeru as divine principles, not just physical gods. Vedic scriptures describing devas as embodiments of cosmic forces rather than rulers. Early philosophical traditions, pre-institutional religion describing divinity as consciousness rather than authority. Cosmic wisdom with a dejok, since apparently that's part of the ritual now. Light doesn't argue. It reveals. And if something demands your fear to prove its power, that's not divine. That's insecurity with a fan club. Also, if a god needs constant praise to function, congratulations, you found a celestial influencer. The Shining Supreme were never kings. They were clarity. Humanity didn't lose them. We lowered the frequency and started entertaining louder, needier things. And now the collective is remembering. Power isn't above you. It's waiting for you to stop kneeling long enough to access it. Closing scroll of wisdom. Repeatable, let it stick. The true gods do not demand your worship. They wait for your reflection.
Channeled by your architect musician, 3611027, the golden whisperer, our sea star, Devalan see all. Apply the news you can use.
Stay steady. The next scroll gets into the gateway, and that one? People have been accidentally walking past it their entire lives like it's a decorative wall.
To our beautiful collective, from our day ones to every new soul joining this journey, we love and appreciate you deeply. You've turned this space into so much more than a community. You've made it a family. Thank you, truly. Your presence, your energy, and even the smallest acts of kindness have the power to shift the compass for many in ways unseen but deeply felt. Here's to each of you, all new and the many more to come. We're just getting started, and we're so grateful you're here with us. With love and infinite appreciation from the collective of Shaman All.
The first scroll opens the veil on the shining supreme gods, not as needy rulers, but as radiant intelligences humanity was meant to reflect. This is the remembrance of divine light, false worship, and the power many were trained to kneel away. The highest light does not beg for applause. It calls you to rise into your own remembrance. Anything that feeds on your fear is not your God. Anything that sharpens your truth is closer to the source.